Salutations, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Renegades React. We are back at it once again on...
Is everybody okay down there?
No.
No.
The burping has gotten out of
Micah,
hand.
you might be the only one that is okay.
Well, he's the only one with a wireless mic.
He can just run.
Yeah, he can run. And you can still... Oh, there it goes.
Beautiful.
Well, we're all
right.
dead now.
All right, well,
I was
anyway.
saying I was the only one, so
Yeah.
This is okay.
Join the club.
This is the Resident Evil 7 rap by JT Machinima. If you all have been following on our Twitch and on our gaming channel Renegade Faction, you'll know that Ben and I have been playing Resident Evil 7.
Yes.
And we were gonna do more of it, but
I mean,
we're
still gonna do more.
Yeah, we're still gonna do more, but
it's just that we couldn't do it this week.
Yeah, unforeseen circumstances.
So...
Case in point, Ben getting feeling under the weather, and as for me, my cousin Zach had him and his wife had a baby, and
hey,
over here at Bristol Regional.
Sick.
Oh. So Zach's a father now.
Hey.
And she is a little bundle of joy, and her name is Rayleigh. And she's and honestly, she's the quietest baby I've ever been around.
Huh.
Every baby I've been around has either been a moaner, a crier, or a whiner. No, not Rayleigh. Rayleigh just looks at you and is just like, so.
she's plotting something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like,
up to something.
I wonder what I can get from this guy. Because as I was holding her, she was like looking at me very perplexed. Like, what can I haggle?
I
him
don't
into
trust
getting
anything
me?
that doesn't have kneecaps.
She has kneecaps.
Babies do not have kneecaps.
Yeah, they do.
Nope.
Well, not after Micah's done with them.
They don't. They
That got
don't.
weird.
Micah, it could be debated you don't have kneecaps.
You develop kneecaps later in life because they
They
got crawling around.
develop, but you have the residual. You have the residual part there.
I'm just saying. Don't trust them.
Is this like whale pelvises?
Yes.
Oh Jesus. Okay, that's a whole conversation
trust
for
whales
another
either.
day. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on. The Resident Evil 7 rap by JT Machinima. Shadow of Myself. We have not finished this game, but hopefully we will finish it maybe next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So look forward to that.
I don't think we're gonna get any major like plot spoilers.
No, I
Of course,
think these
to
are
be
from
fair,
the trailers.
it's a Resident Evil game, so plot is kind of...
Well, honestly, 4 had a pretty good plot.
Yeah, but 4 also had Leon Kennedy spouting a bunch of one-liners and
Which were all fantastic.
yeah, and buying a broom-handled Mauser from a guy who
Is you.
has on who is me. Yeah,
Is
and
you.
just what are you buying, stranger?
What are you selling?
I'll buy it at a high.
I love 4.
Thank you.
Couldn't get into 5. Didn't even bother with 6.
Yeah,
You're lucky you didn't bother with 6.
yeah. Resident Evil man-filleting giraffe.
Okay,
is kind of a problem.
5. Okay, 5.
Look at the
I will
6.
say this. I
Look at
will
the
say this
6.
about 5. First time I played it, only time I played it was when it was co-op with my cousin. Co-op is, and honestly, you could do split screen co-op, and it works really well.
Oh, that's
whereas
nice.
with the AI, it's no.
Yeah.
Sheva's not very good AI.
Which is sad.
Anyway, on to Resident Evil 7. So far, I've liked the story of 7.
It's been pretty
It's
all
very
right.
It's very mysterious and very it's I would say horror cliche, but at the same time,
There's some horror cliches, but it's genuinely just kind of spoopy.
but it also pays tribute to a bunch of the horror classics. Like for instance, the family from this, I get a very
You've been getting a lot of Texas
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Especially the grandma. Especially the grandma, because
Yeah.
they had that one character who was just like the grandfather, who was just like completely in a vegetative state, and she is as well, and it's just like whoa.
And I mean,
and she keeps getting up and down the stairs in a wheelchair.
and you're just
How?
like, how? Well, I mean, to be fair, I've also been seeing some weird product placement because you know that the father has to be based off the Gorton's Fisherman.
You have
Seriously,
Stop.
Google it.
seriously.
Gorton's Fisherman.
Okay,
Do it.
Face morph.
Okay.
Face morph the Gordon Fisherman.
All
with
right.
the
So
father.
what we got here
Jack
is we
Baker.
have we have this lined up.
Don't trust the Gorton's Fisherman.
Let's give it a watch.
Yep,
But you're supposed to be able to.
you can't trust the Gorton's Fisherman.
I will say this: the first-person perspective, I wasn't sure about how I would feel about it,
Yeah,
but honestly, I love it. I think it adds a whole new.
Go.
don't put your hand in the toilet.
You'll lose it.
right.
Now.
Yeah, that hand comes off, by the way.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, those guys.
The molded man. Ugh.
At that point, if I was low on ammo, I'd just run.
Yeah.
That's really all you can do at that point.
oh, chainsaw fight.
Oh, yeah. He
Yeah,
has
that was-
chainsaw scissors.
That was epic.
It was nuts.
Hey, Dad.
Hey!
Hey, Big Daddy.
The Gordon's fisherman.
You're sinking in this swamp. There's no key to your survival. That's a door that's locked. Dissected head to toe. You'll be opened up. The only friend you'll get to know is a loaded gun.
If you can find the ammo,
Yeah.
especially if you're on Madhouse.
There is not a lot of ammo.
Hey, it's hey, Edgar.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm glad we found the flamethrower during that part.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Now you know the price. Gotta pay it now. If you have a life, time to lay it down.
That's the beginning hour.
Yep.
Oh, the basement.
Oh, yeah.
We had fun down there.
This is one of those situations where it's like, man, I'd kill for a tank of liquid nitrogen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Especially in 4.
Yep.
During that one boss battle. It was an optional boss battle. You didn't have to beat him. You could actually escape.
Yeah.
It was like the right hand of Salvatore's right hand.
Yep. And then you have to go deal with Lord Sandler.
What is the
Good.
satisfying sound of one's in pain?
What's the matter? What's happening? I've been served up a platter of pathogens. Trapped within a macabre massacre by a family of sadistic savages. Ain't seen a chainsaw yet, but I will by the end, I bet. I can sense the presence of evil settled deep in this residence. I've already been through shit, still haven't seen how bad it gets. Crashing the party, bashing their heads. Pick up a weapon and splatter the rest. This violence has me laughing after making a massive mess. I guess I'm past the point of saving. I'd rather end up dead. Give in to your temptation.
Close the door, man.
Why let yourself be bound by mortal morality? Way past saving.
Jesus. Okay. Okay. The fact that okay. Yeah. Okay. So
That looks super creepy.
It is.
it is
It is.
very
Um,
effective. Very effective with their
well,
their style they're going with.
So I know the people who were watching it were like, man, Ben in the beginning, I felt really bad for him because I was curling up in a ball and stuff.
It was bad.
That was super.
It was bad. I remember there was one part you like sunk down to here.
Yeah, and I'm just like no, like I put on the helmet. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. I just put on the helmet. Helmet of safety.
I would love to see a horror movie like that, like in first person.
Hardcore Henry, they had an action movie like that.
And it was,
Well, you see, what they've usually done with first person, they've usually done the found footage style, where it's someone with a camera. But I'd like it to just be a person, fully from the first perspective, like, what you're saying. And just like, because honestly, you'd hear things behind you, you'd turn around, and you'd see nothing. And it'd be effective in terms of a storytelling motif because that'd be a good way for exposition as well. If you run into somebody in the same predicament as you, and then it's just like, how did you get here? I don't know. And it, I mean, honestly, we could try some stuff out like that. I mean, honestly, we got GoPros. We could do stuff like that.
I mean, we got cameras, and we can strap them pretty squarely to the chest because that's where the first person perspective typically is in a game.
I feel like that was like you were looking.
I feel like right here at least.
Because when here or like right here.
Because when that guy got thrown down the steps, like that looked like.
It
looked like the head was turning to watch the mother as he fell down the steps.
Yeah, and also the close up of her talking to you.
Yeah.
They usually it's usually like right here because honestly she's looking you in the eye.
Yeah.
And you're seeing her mouth predominantly.
Which it's interesting because in most first-person games, the camera is chest high.
Yeah.
Because then you can see your hands.
Well, yeah, Gord, like for instance, Half-Life.
Probably
the most.
TF2.
Yeah, TF2.
TF2 camera is chest high.
Yeah. And you see that works. That works for those types of games. And in this, I think that's the switch up because making the perspective a little bit higher. Well, put your hands a little bit out of sight, and it gives you a little bit of unease as well.
The chest high or the chest mounted camera also does one thing in particular, which is to eliminate head movement. So, realistically, your character would be looking around. And such, but your movement, you're looking straight ahead. So you have to physically turn the character.
Right.
So if you had the camera mounted at the head would just be stock still, essentially, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's something that just sort of occurred to me.
Most games play that way, though. I mean,
yeah.
It's strange.
It is, and if we were to film stuff like that, I'd want to do a few tests, like a few preliminary, like walk around tests and like movement tests in some ways.
Yeah,
I'd like to try out stuff like that, see what we could get away with. But what they've done with the first person perspective in this, it's just like, okay. You remember in the first few Resident Evil games, it was fixed camera, from a fixed perspective, and you had to wait till you were past a certain threshold before it would switch. Like you'd be out of frame, getting hit, and you wouldn't know what to do. Which
I mean is scary, but it's also just
annoying,
frustrating.
Yeah.
And frustration takes you out of gameplay.
Yeah, frustration takes you out of the immersion. So, the over the shoulder camera angle in 4 was much better because your camera was way more mobile, but there were still limited camera angles that you could get just because of the way the movement was.
And also, whenever you saw like something coming in behind you, like you saw someone come, it's just like how you would be in real life. You'd catch something out of the corner of your eye and you'd turn to hit it, and
you'd get a couple frames of something coming up behind me, coming up behind you, and there you go. Boom. That's all you get.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to see Resident Evil 7 in VR. That's terrifying.
Actually, the Game Grumps were playing it that way.
Yeah, they're doing it.
Yeah, Aaron was wearing the VR headset, and Dan was watching it on the TV. I mean, honestly, And from what I understand, PlayStation VR is the best for it. You know, they say they've done Oculus mods and HTC Vive mods and everything to make it good, but they say the PlayStation VR is the best because it's fine tuned for it.
That makes sense.
Well, considering Sony was always like, remember early on, Sony was the only one that put out Resident Evil. I mean, honestly, in terms of consoles, it was only on PlayStation. And actually, they said that was one of the biggest reasons to get a PlayStation. And now it's on every system. It's just like, wow. It's just like it's available everywhere now.
Oh yeah.
Except for Nintendo Switch.
Well, you never know.
Well, yeah, you never know.
I mean, you've got to remember, Resident Evil 4 was supposed to be a Nintendo exclusive.
Yeah, it was for the first year and a half.
Well, no, it was intended to be a Nintendo exclusive permanently.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know.
But then
Capcom worked out a deal.
Yeah.
Where they got exclusivity removed, but they had to do something, commit something for Nintendo.
But there was something. But that was something that they. Oh, I can't remember his name. The guy who did. Yeah.
Shinji Mikami.
Shinji Mikami was not happy with that at all.
Yeah. Well, it limits the amount that they can sell, and Mikami, being, the venture capitalist that he is, I mean, honestly, in all honesty, console exclusives kind of infuriate me. Because, don't get me wrong, I know why Halo was the way it was, because Bungie needed something for the groundwork to really set it off. But now that Microsoft is a guaranteed winner almost in the console market, you don't need to keep exclusives anymore. You see, for consoles to get up to a certain level, I think you do need exclusives because that will make people want to buy it. And it's just like Nintendo. Yeah. Nintendo, one of the biggest draws for me getting a Nintendo GameCube was the fact that Smash Brothers Melee was coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it was coming out. And I'm like, I have to get it.
That's a big one.
Sorry, Caleb.
Well, but see, then you run into the problem of, I know there's a particular streamer who enjoys streaming Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And he wanted to play Bloodborne.
Yeah.
But because Bloodborne is a PlayStation exclusive and is locked to 30 frames a second, he couldn't play.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, 30 frames per second, that frame rate makes him sick.
Well, it's just like, whenever you go back to that, like me, I'm used to going between it. I'm used to going between 30 and 60 frames a second. I'm used to that. There's some people who once they see something for the first, there's people now who can't play on any monitor unless it's 144 megahertz or higher.
Yeah.
Because now, usually it's 60 it's hertz. Sorry.
Yeah.
So usually it's 60 hertz.
Yeah.
And that's 60 frames per second. That's adequate.
Yeah.
But there's some people who, they play games at 100 frames per second now, and they're used to that, and they only want that.
The brain is an interesting thing.
Yeah. Well, adaptivity. Once the brain adapts to something, it's hard to go back to it. It's just like that weird wobble effect thing that you see on some videos. They say stare at the center of this for an X amount of time, and then when you look away, everything wobbles.
Yeah.
And the brain, how it adapts to that, how your mind rewires itself to look at that and see it in the perspective with it, and then you look away, and boom, your brain has to rewire itself again. Actually, you know what? There's a video we'll watch after that. We'll probably do after this.
Oh no!
I'll show you all. How rewiring the brain and everything. It's how it works, or how it can affect everyday life. But I guess for this one, this was Resident Evil 7 rap by JT Machinima, Shadow of Myself. So if you all wish to see our playthrough of Resident Evil 7, there is a link to our second channel down below. Feel free to go there. Also, don't forget to check out JT Machinima and all the awesome stuff they do. They're almost at a million subs, guys. They're almost there. Help them get there, guys.
They're getting pretty close.
They're getting very, very close. So help them get there. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check out our merchandise. That's right, we have merchandise now. Probably going to be adding more here soon, according to something that a certain someone told me. Look forward to that. And don't forget to check out our Patreon and our other endeavors. And until next time, I'm Nate.
I'm Ben.
I'm Elena.
Micah.
We will see you later, everyone. Peace out.
Bye.
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 Dang it.